Hello again, witchy people. Sorry about the noise, the fan has to be on. We are in the middle of a mini heat wave here. I don't do heat. Even at night it's too hot anyway. So, I have a question to ask you all. I would like to know about interfaith pagan relationships. Were you brought up in a pagan faith? And if not, how does that gel with your family? And what religious or spiritual path did your parents follow? Did they raise you that way? Do they follow the same path now as they did when you were growing up? If they had, if they had a religious path, did they bring you up in that way? And if you have children, do you bring your children up in the same spiritual path as you follow? What about if you and your partner are following different paths, different spiritualities, different religions? How do you make that work within your family home? Is this all mute? Or moot, I should say. Is this a moot point? Do you, or have you had to disconnect from family and you have made your own family for people of your choosing? Do those people follow your path? So kind of it's like, how do interfaith families work? How do you cope with that? How do you adjust? And what kind of respect do you have to give each other for that? Now, the reason I'm asking is I was brought up very spiritually. We used to go tree hugging and cloud calling and rain singing and all sorts when I was a child. My family, my grandfather, my mum's dad, taught me an awful lot about foraging and a lot of folklore, and so did my father's family. So as a child I wasn't brought up in what you might call an Abrahamic religion. My father came out as a Jew when I was about 11 or 12 years old, I believe. My mum is now a born-again Christian, and it's kind of strange that she became very, very religious as I grew older. It's almost like she passed the baton on to me and then went on to do something different. Now, you would think that maybe, considering she is quite a staunch Christian, that we would have our differences, and we don't. Well, we do. We have our differences, but we don't argue and we respect each other completely. There are a lot of things that my mother believes that I do not agree with at all. But I respect her enough to understand why she believes those things and why it is important for her to believe those things. She understands that I'm never, or probably never, I mean, never say never, but I am not a Christian, nor will I probably ever be. And she's okay with that. She'll still pray for me to her God, and I'll still make spells and magic potions for her. So we got on quite well. My father passed away about 5 years ago now, and that, I think, when this happened, my mum's Christian faith became stronger. If I had been a Christian, I think it would have shattered my faith completely. My husband is a pagan more than anything, but he's not what I would call a practicing pagan. He's dabbled in many religions. He's got his foot here, there and everywhere. He's had his finger in a few pies, but he respects totally my point of view and lets me children playing outside. Yeah, and lets me practice how I want without. He doesn't often make fun of me. He does sometimes, but not in a mean way. So then, of course, there's my children. I didn't exactly raise them to be pagans. They were openly subjected to many religions. But I never hid what I was from them. So if they ever needed to ask questions, they could. I always wanted them to make their own decisions. I wouldn't like to state anything about my children's spirituality or their religions. It's something they've kept very private. But there is also respect there both ways. I don't expect them to be pagan, and they don't expect me or disrespect me for being a pagan or calling myself a witch. I mean, even as children, they were pretty cool about it all. You know, it's not something that was ever hidden. So yeah, they were okay with it, and for the most part, I mean, I can remember talking to one of my children, and they said, actually, we thought it was really cool when you were growing up because you weren't like other mums, and you're a bit more free, but you let us have boundaries, and they think that's because of who I am, and who I am is a witch. So the question basically is, how do these relationships work for you? And, you know, whether that be parent, partner, child, further family, siblings, or the family that you've made. How does being a pagan versus a pagan on a different path or a non-pagan affect your relationships? And that's all there is to it. I'm really looking forward to hearing, hopefully you get, have a VR or two with people explaining that, and if not, leave me a little essay. No, don't leave me an essay. Leave a few lines in the comments below and let me know how you feel about it, or how your family copes with it. Barkley, stop it. The dog's in a very strange mood tonight. But yeah, so a VR would be lovely. A video response or a virtual response, as you may like it, and leave a link below. And I look forward to reading and listening or watching them all. You have an opinion, Barkley? That's not a valid point, my sweetness. Apparently I'm wrong. Thank you for watching, witchy people. I'll be back very soon. Bye for now. Oh, way to end a video. Finished? We're finished. Barkley, are you a pagan? Are you a pagan, Barkley? Barkley. Come here then. Come here. Come here. Come here. There. Barkley. Are you a pagan? Do you think we have an interfaith relationship, Barkley? God, you stink. You stink terrible. Okay, so Barkley needs a pup. Barkley. Barkley, do you respect the fact that we may have different faiths, different spiritual paths? Barkley. As your mummy. Yeah. There we go. I'm coming. Don't lick me. You're getting a taste of religion. You're licking a witch, huh? Say bye-bye.